Hello, everybody. Welcome to another NFL breakdown here on the Honorable Mention Sports Network. I'm Drew Bedard. I'm going to get you through all of the NFL news and notes from Week 7. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about NFL Week 7. We got Monday Night Football tonight. This is Monday night, so we got another doubleheader weekend of Monday Night Football. Let's see. It is the Ravens at Buccaneers, both 4-2. Great game. That is going to start at 8:15. That's probably the one that most people will watch. And then 9 o'clock, the Chargers and Cardinals. Chargers 3-2 at Phoenix to play the Arizona Cardinals, who are 2-4. But we'll go over those in just a few minutes. But want to walk through all the games from this past weekend and, give our news, notes, and commentary about those. All right, so we started off the week with Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime with the Broncos and Saints. Sean Payton returning to the Superdome, the Caesars Superdome, there in New Orleans, the site of so many of his wins and, of course, a Super Bowl championship. And the Broncos come in and absolutely dominate. It's kind of a messy first half. Bo Nix missed, famously on social, you probably saw it, that Bo Nix missed two wide open receivers on the same play, but Bo played well. Bo is a game manager. Bo's probably going to break out and have a few really good weeks, but otherwise he is a manage the game type of quarterback, and he's built for that. He's very smart. He's a good leader. He'll make a great Sean Payton because Drew Brees was similar. Obviously Drew Brees, funny enough, was getting inducted into the Saints Hall of Fame on the same night, but the Broncos took the win 33-10. Spencer Rattler got his second start for Derek Carr, who's injured, and went 25 for 35 for 172. A little bit of a messy night for Spencer. But again, the Broncos just kind of dominated throughout and took the victory. So let's move over to Sunday. We're back in London Sunday morning for the Patriots and Jaguars. Just whoever got up for this game, God bless you, because it was pretty ugly. Jaguars take the win 32-16. Drake May has another promising performance, though. 26 for 37 for 276 and 2 touchdowns. The highlight of the game was Parker Washington took a 96-yard punt to the house for the Jaguars, but both of those teams are bad. They're not going to make the playoffs. The Patriots coach, Gerard Mayo, Tennessee go Vols, came out of the game saying that his players are soft. You can check out bostonsportsjournal.com and my brother Greg Bedard for all his coverage on that, because I don't know much about what's going on in New England, but it is a hot dumpster fire of a mess in New England. 1-6 now on the season. We move over to the 1 o'clock game. Seahawks taking on the Falcons in Atlanta. And surprisingly, I bet a lot of people had the Falcons coming away with this one, but the Seahawks dominate 34-14. Kirk Cousins gets pulled in the second half from Michael Penix, but Kirk still goes 24 for 35, 232 with 1 touchdown. Bijan Robinson over 100 yards again and a touchdown. And before DK Metcalf got hurt, he had 4 receptions for 99 yards and 1 touchdown. He is week to week after that game, got carted off the field, but it looks like it's an MCL and he'll be fine. But the Seahawks take another solid win. Geno Smith had a great game, and the Seahawks are right there. Seahawks and Falcons are playoff teams. It's just, what is their record going to end up being, and are they going to make it in? But they deserve to be in the playoffs. The next one, oh God, the Titans. The Titans get blown out in Buffalo, 34-10. Mason Rudolph starts for the Titans, which was probably the right move, but it didn't really do anything for the Titans offense. The Bills dominate the entire game, and in his first game, it's Amari Cooper comes in for the Bills, scores a touchdown. Allen was 21 for 33 for 323 and 2 TDs. Again, solid, beautiful day in Buffalo for the Bills fans. The Titans are terrible at this point. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, you got to let a coach probably get 3 years, but Callahan, I know he's got to be super frustrated because they keep having chances. This one wasn't really that close, but the Titans should be in these games. They should have been 2-2 at this point coming into this game, or whatever, 2-3, but they're 1-5 now and going down the toilet. So next game, Bengals and Browns. Really a one-sided affair in this one, with the Bengals taking that opening kickoff all the way back for a touchdown. And they basically led throughout. The Browns got a late touchdown, but wasn't even that close. Bengals 3-4 now, win 24-14. Burrow goes 15 for 25 for 181 and 2 TDs. Nothing spectacular, but Joe's on his way back to form. The Browns go to 1-6, and they lose to Deshaun Watson for the season. I mean, I feel for Browns fans. It just never gets better for them. They're terrible again this year. They're probably going to fire Kevin Stefanski, who's a really good coach when he's got the right players. A lot of teams are decimated by injury right now, but the Bengals take the win. Again, it wasn't as close as the score would say at 21-14. The Bengals still on my teams on the way up. Next one is Texans Packers. Everybody was looking forward to this one with CJ Stroud and Jordan Love going head to head in Green Bay on a beautiful day up there. Packers wearing the all whites. Pretty sweet unis. Love goes 24 for 33 for 220, 3 TDs. He is money, man. He is lights out. And he's just coming back from an injury, and he still lights out. CJ Stroud had a great game as well. Joe Mixon continues to impress. 25 carries for 115 yards and 2 TDs. Really tight game. Packers win it on a late field goal, and both really good, strong teams. Houston Texans, Green Bay Packers. You'll see them in the playoffs, and they will both be formidable when they get there. Next one, kind of an ugly one in Indianapolis. The Colts take the win over the Dolphins 16-10. Great stat that came out this week is that the Dolphins through 7 weeks of this season have scored 70 points. In a game last year against the Broncos, I believe, they scored 70 points in one game. So what is wrong with the Dolphins offense? I mean, Tua's obviously not in there, and he's coming back from injury. God bless him. I hope he doesn't get any more concussions. But the Dolphins can't score points for some reason. They score 10 in the first half, none in the second half. Devin Achane goes 15 for 77. Anthony Richardson, 10 for 24 for 129 for the Colts. So the Colts aren't out of the woods either. They're 4-3, but they don't look great. Next game was a great one, which was the Lions and Vikings. Again, 2 playoff teams. They're headed there. Great teams. The Lions scored 21 unanswered in the second quarter. That puts them, relatively tied the entire game. Jared Goff, another incredibly efficient game, 22 for 25 for 280 with 2 TDs. Jahmyr Gibbs goes 15 carries for 116 and 2 TDs. The Lions can score, but again, late field goal lifts the Lions over the Vikings. A battle till the end in that game. Both really, really good teams and should be good all the way through. Next game is the Eagles and Giants in East Rutherford, and Saquon Barkley back for the first time at MetLife Stadium, and it wasn't even close. The Giants are awful to watch. This is a game I turned off pretty early into the second quarter on Sunday because the Eagles took a 14-3 lead going into halftime and never looked back. A.J. Brown had a great game. Jalen Hurts didn't throw very much. Saquon Barkley got most of the work in this game with 17 carries and 176 yards and 1 TD. Great triumphant return to MetLife Stadium. The Giants are horrible. They pulled Daniel Jones in the second half for Drew Lock. Go look up the Drew Lock rapping highlights, by the way. If you can do that on YouTube, it's a great one. But the Eagles, I don't think we know what the Eagles are going to do this year. I don't think we know their identity yet. They played really well in this game. They're 4-2 now, but they are Jekyll and Hyde. They can look great one week and they can look terrible one week. So we'll see where that goes from here. All right, next one, Raiders and Rams. Pretty good game. Gardner Minshew had to come back in for, what's his name, Banks? What's the other starting quarterback for the Raiders? No, it's okay. So Raiders, I know you guys are probably all out there saying right now, it's what's his name? It's the dude with the mustache who looks like Farva from Super Troopers. But the Rams look great in the first half. They take the win. Stafford goes 14 for 23 for 154 yards. And I'm going to just look it up real quick. It was Aiden O'Connell, of course. Sorry about that. Aiden O'Connell, who actually left with an injury, so we're not sure about his future. But Brock Bowers with another really solid game at tight end for Las Vegas, 10 receptions for 93 yards. But the Rams take it at home in LA. They're 2-4. They might be a team on the way up. We'll see. The Rams, again, another Jekyll and Hyde team. They can look terrible some weeks and they can look great some weeks. All right, next one, another just like put a bag over your head and don't watch. The Commanders take a home win, 40-7. The 7 for the Panthers came in the fourth quarter. Andy Dalton was not good. Probably need to go back to Bryce Young. Marcus Mariota comes in for Jaden Daniels, who hurts a rib in the first half. Marcus Mariota comes in as a backup for the Washington Commanders, goes 18 for 23 for 205 and 2 touchdowns against the Panthers. I mean, what? Oh, God, they're so bad. And the Commanders are good. The Commanders are really good, and they're going to be a playoff team. They're probably going to take it slow with Jaden Daniels. I think he's an all-pro. I think he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I've been saying that for 3 or 4 weeks. The Commanders are really good. They're getting better. They have a good defense, and the Panthers are horrible. Next one, the Chiefs beat up on the 49ers 28-18. And I think me and everybody else in the NFL world is just ready for the Chiefs to be knocked off. But they're 6-0. 3-0 in the AFC or the AFC West. I don't know. I mean, they're pretty good, I guess. They score 14 in the second quarter, 14 in the fourth quarter. Mahomes has the highlight of the game by running over Mustafa in the end zone. And the side-by-side photos of these guys, when you see Mahomes and his dad bod and you see this DB who is absolutely jacked, he looks like he should be in a bodybuilding contest, is amazing. But Mahomes knocks him over on his way to the end zone, and the Chiefs are 6-0 coming off of back-to-back titles. The 49ers are still trying to figure it out. Again, a lot of injuries on their side. I think they're going to be fine down the stretch, and they're going to be contenders again when we get to the playoffs. And then last night's game, again, another Jets game where there are these high expectations. They go into Pittsburgh. They make the trade on Tuesday for Devontae Adams, or finalize the trade. He was already on a flight on Monday. Finalize the trade for Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers gets his favorite wide receiver of all time back, but the Jets' offensive line can't protect Aaron Rodgers. And so Breece Hall, who was fantastic all night, took about 14 screens for a bunch of yards through the air, but really couldn't run. And they couldn't protect Aaron Rodgers long enough to throw to Garrett Wilson. And when they threw to Garrett Wilson, one time it hit off his chest and got picked off. Just mistake after mistake after mistake. And I think what the Jets are showing is that they're not that great. They got a really good defense, but the Steelers and Russell Wilson's first appearance of the year, they put up 37 on the Jets defense. So the Jets are 2-5. I was looking at their schedule. Is it possible for them to get to 10-7? Yes, but they're going to have to play spectacular, and they have to make some changes on the offensive line because it is not working. The teams that had the bye weeks were the Bears and the Cowboys. Thank God for the Cowboys, so we didn't have to talk about them again. But they had the week off. So tonight's Monday Night Football games, again, Ravens at Bucks in Tampa Bay, which looks like a great game. Baltimore is favored by 4.5. I don't know about that, but we'll see. The Ravens are really good. Can you count on a Derrick Henry anytime touchdown? Probably. He has 9, I think, this season, and he scored one in every single game. He is fantastic for the Ravens. Buccaneers riding kind of on Baker Mayfield's leadership and his passing. Look for him to be a star tonight. Ravens defense is always tough, But I actually would take the spread on the Bucks in this one, but I'm not great at betting. I usually rely on experts, but I would take at home. I'd take the Bucks against the spread. What's that? Okay, that was my son Banks who was giving me picks here over on the side. So the other one is at 9 p.m. It's the Chargers at the Cardinals. Excuse me. Chargers are 3-2. Harbaugh coming off last week where he had some health complications, but the Cardinals, it's which Kyler Murray is going to show up. Is Marvin Harrison Jr. healthy? The LA Chargers at the Cardinals are favored by 1. Vegas has the total on this on ESPN Bet at 44.5. So you're looking at a low scoring game. Is this going to be a field goal game? Probably. It's just who gets the late field goal, or does Kyler Murray do some sort of magic trick that gets them over the hump? So that is the NFL breakdown for week 7. I look forward to watching Monday Night Football. I know we got buddies from Smack Apparel that are going to the game tonight in Tampa. And I'm looking forward to having some guests on here in the future. Jeff from Smack Apparel, my old friend Albert Breer from Monday Morning Quarterback, from Prime on Thursday Night Football, is going to make some appearances on here. So we're going to do some NFL breakdowns week after week and hope that you guys will join us here on Honorable Mention Sports. So enjoy the games tonight, and we'll see you next week for another NFL breakdown.